Hey everybody, it's time to Nephis and chill. In this video, I'll be going over the prices of carries. So I've actually talked about carries or mentioned carries in passing on the channel in two previous videos, and more recently, Artea, who you should definitely check out as a content creator, also made a video on carries as perhaps the most controversial gold making method in the Elder Scrolls Online. This video is not really about what carries are or if they're, right to do or they're wrong, blah, blah, blah. This is more to give you a sense of how much gold there is in this game, depending on your platform and region, and also give a sense of how much people pay for these carries because not a lot of people know about the exact numbers when it comes to carries until they actually start pursuing where to get these carries. So obviously, these prices are very recent, but of course they can change depending on when you're watching this video. So 6 months from now, the prices most likely will go higher because of the inflation of the value of gold as it keeps going up. But otherwise, this is just kind of to give you a sense of not just how much gold there is, but how much gold people have. Because a lot of people, their first reactions to these prices, like, there's no way I can afford that, or like there's no way people have that much gold. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, there's a lot of people who do buy these at these prices currently. So let's go over it. I think it's gonna be pretty funny, and I'm sure we'll have some salty comments down below. But yeah, let me know what you think about these prices also in the YouTube comments down below too. I'm kind of curious on your take. All right, so first thing we have here is just a kind of, I think it's a guild on PlayStation EU, and they're basically showcasing the VMAW skin. So just a VMAW clear as 1.2 million gold. VMAW Hardmode, 4 million gold. VMAW Void Avoided, which is a specific achievement, 2.4 million, and Fang Focused is 2.4 million. Now, as a raider, 2.4 million for Fang Focus. I would not do Fang Focus for 2.4 million. I think it's more trouble than it's worth. For VHOF, they do have a range of 2.4 to 3.6, depending on the hard mode. And you'll notice that, most carry runs will give you all the things that are obtained. Some, depending on the trial, they won't. Depends on jewelry as well. But I think in general, as a general rule of thumb, I think most carry groups or carry guilds will just kind of give you everything you want. No extra charge. But it may be different again depending on the group or the context or the trial. For VAS plus 1.5 million gold. Pretty interesting. So 3.3 million gold for VAS hard mode. VCR plus 1.2 million. VCR plus 2.4 million. VCR hard mode clear, just a skin, no Griffin or anything, is 5.5 million. And you pretty much see the same kind of range. And of course, as the DLC trials get more and more recent, the prices keep going up. As you noticed, a base Vet Sunspire is 2.4 million gold when compared to a base Vet Rockgrove of 3 million gold. And it gets a little bit more expensive, as you can see, when it comes to titles. For example, Dawnbringer is 36 million gold. Griffinheart is 24 million gold. So Dawnbringer is the VK hard mode no death speedrun. Griffinheart is the no death hard mode speedrun for Cloud Rest, and so forth. IR is for VAS, TikTok is for VHOF, and Dramatic Destroyer is not really even a trifecta. It's just kind of a title you have to get through VMAW, Void Avoided, Fang Focus, and hard mode. It's kind of interesting that separately, the prices for the hard mode, Void Avoided, and Fang Focused, I think all three of which you need for Dramatic Destroyer is more than Dramatic Destroyer itself. But I think there's a couple more other achievements I think associated with this. It's been a while, so. But yeah, this is the PlayStation EU prices. I noticed that they don't have an Unchained, which is the Black Rose Prison title here, but I've been told it's like around 8 million. And for I think we're going to move on to the Xbox prices here, actually. And I'm just going to kind of zoom in for you on the video. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing pretty much the similar cases here. I mean, except the value of gold seems to be a bit higher on Xbox compared to PlayStation. For example, VMAW is 2.2 million for some Xbox groups, apparently, whereas PlayStation is 1.2. And if we look at, let's say, VCR hard mode, it is same as well, or like in the similar range. As we keep going, this is also Xbox. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much nearly the same. Dreammill for VAS skin. Yeah, it's a difference of a few 100,000, or a mil or so. As we keep going, and there are also 4-man carries, not just trial carries. And there's also, by the way, carries for Emperor and carries for Tier 1 PvP rewards. So there's carries for pretty much everything. I suspect with the 2-person meta, there's going to be carries for Sky Shards and stuff. But yeah, this is a list of Xbox NA dungeon carry prices. So Ruins of Mazatun skin, 1.2 million. Fanglair skin, 1.5 million. And I think some of these prices are definitely based on the aesthetic value, or rather how cool the skin is, or how difficult the content is. Dungeon hard modes can range from 1 to 4 million. Dungeon trifectas range from 4 to 12 million. And there are very specific achievements here, like Unchained, which is 10 to 12 million. Silver Rose, 9 million. We got True Genius, 6 to 8 million, which is from Stone Garden. And yeah, I mean, there's also even carries for Vet Clears for Monster Helms, which is between 400 and 600,000. As we move away from console, you'll notice that these prices will keep going up. And this is still console right here on the screen. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these prices are definitely mind-boggling for a lot of players. But there are also a lot of players that do have this gold. Which is one of the points of the video. So 25 million, 35 million, 40 mil, 120 mil for Dawnbringer, 180 mil for Godslayer on Xbox apparently. And now we're going to move on to PC North America, on from PlayStation EU, PlayStation console in general, Xbox, and this is going to be PC North America prices as of now, as of the uploading of this video. As you can see, completely huge jump. For example, Xbox 3 mil for VHOF clear, it's 14 million gold on PC, and a lot of people are kind of like confused on this. And I actually talked about this in another video where I talked about the hyperinflation of the value of gold, especially on PC where it's a lot easier to attain gold, and so the value of gold goes down. So this is a reflection of the value of gold, really. So 14 million, 16 million for VHOF hard mode, VAS hard mode 10 million, and of course VAS hard mode 2.75 million on Xbox, right? So again, in general, like all the prices have just triple, double, quadruple the price of console, because on console it's harder to get gold. But there's also the factors of population, there's also the factors of activity, there's also a whole host of variables that'll determine the value of gold. And that also affects crown rates, because earlier we had a podcast today for the ESO podcast, and Alywels said you'd be lucky to get a 2,000 gold to 1 crown rate on PC EU. That's how much the difference is in value. But yeah, as you can see, these are the prices for all this stuff. I mean, Unchained, where they're offering 10 to 12 mil on Xbox, right? And a PCNA Unchained is 100 million. Quite interesting, really. And the TikTok Tormentor, 100 million. That's like, it's hard to wrap my mind sometimes around numbers. I think that's the case for a lot of us. I mean, and this is a really interesting way of kind of showcasing the discrepancy in terms of the numbers between the different platforms and servers. But yeah, it's really interesting. And you can pause the video anytime you like and just kind of look at each price if you want on each platform and server I've shown so far. But yeah, these are the prices as of now. I do love that the Planesbreaker is listed for 1 billion. I don't think I think there's been like 2. And of course, I think that's exceedingly difficult to do. But yeah, we got 250 million for Dawnbringer, 400 million for Godslayer, 100 million for TikTok, 30 million for Dromothra Destroyer. And of course, we do have, again, the dungeons. And I do love that they have 1.8 million specifically for Lair of Marsalek, because I don't think anyone likes doing Lair of Marsalek, even for gold. But yeah, now we're going to move on from PCNA to PCEU. And this is from one of the, I think the biggest carry Discord on PC at the moment. And as you can see, you know, just like the other servers or guilds or groups that are doing all this, they do offer carry services for not just trials, but also for main content, even normal trials. I mean, just compare the prices here, really. A VCR hard mode on PC is 14 million, whereas PCNA is 16 million. So there will be some weird differences here, because typically on PCU, the inflation of gold is higher than NA. And of course, I think at this point, when we're talking about maybe a few million in difference, it's gonna be also dependent on factors such as how many groups are available to even do all this. Are they competent enough to do all this? How often do they do it? Or how, you know, different groups perceive different values and rewards with different rewards in terms of different values. So there's going to be some factors with that, but generally EU seems to be a bit higher in some categories compared to PCNA. Although, again, like for example here, GOTS are 280 million, whereas PCNA is 400 million. It's not that PCNA has a higher inflation of gold, it's just that probably there's less groups to do it. So it's going to demand more, I guess, more higher prices because there's fewer people to do it. And if there's fewer people to do it, then they can probably charge a bit higher than some other groups can. But yeah, I'm really interesting. And again, as I mentioned before, Emperor carries 75 million for level 50 plus campaign EP only. We have a sub level 50 Emperor carry, which is 45 million. It's interesting that the sub level 50 M carries are 45 million. Or cheaper. I would think it's a little bit more expensive because you would need to make a entirely new character just to carry, but I guess it's for some reason cheaper. And again, I'll just keep going down the list here. Again, we do have more 4-man carries on EU, and if you keep comparing them to PCNA, it'll be higher in some parts, lower in some parts. And again, you know, compared to Xbox or PlayStation, I mean, very high, very, very high. And again, we even have normal dungeons and arena prices. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very, I think, I think it's very jarring for a lot of players to see these gold prices. And I just wanted to share these prices with you guys because, one, a lot of you actually are probably interested, and a lot of you are probably like curious also about carry prices. And also probably a lot of you are just going to be salty about it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. I'm actually kind of curious how prices will change in the coming months. I think it's probably going to go up. There's also discussion about how the account-wide achievements will probably affect the Trifecta title prices. Whether it's going to go up or go down, depending. I think most likely it'll go up slightly to reflect the changes coming with Update 33, because not only do you just need to do it on one character, that just kind of, I guess, makes it so the title at the same... It's kind of a weird situation, I think, where the title can be seen as both more expensive because now it applies on every character, but also less expensive because it applies on every character. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. Let me know down in the comments below again what you guys think about these prices across every platform, every server. And yeah, thanks for enough and chilling, and see you guys next time.